sure you've heard this comparison before, Goonies, E.T., right? That kind of early Spielberg. Was that an influence? Is that just sort of coincidental that it comes across like that? Because it's a movie about young kids and an alien?
Yeah. I mean, we loved Amblin movies growing up as a kid, and they were, I think it was really Amblin movies, and they were John Hughes movies, and they were early Tim Burton and Ghostbusters, and like these movies that were 80s movies that really had a sense of fun to them, and they were adventure movies that had scares and comedy and suspense and heart, and those movies kind of, they stopped making those a little bit. I would say Marvel has kind of taken that throne a little bit recently, but everything is very much steeped in seriousness. And I would say more than any one movie specifically, it was an overall tonal approach that I really love, and every time I go to the movies, I'm looking for that, and I'm looking for those popcorn movies that give us all of that. And I think that was an era where they were making stuff like that, and we were kind of, that was something we did want to bring back. It was that tone.
To that point, is it difficult crafting in this day and age, in this realistic era of movies and summer blockbusters, a fun summer family film?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is difficult only because, I go to the movies every weekend, and I see bigger and bigger and bigger spectacle every weekend, and I see something new that I've never seen before every weekend. And what it does is, while spectacle has kind of, started to expand and become bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where it's this giant balloon, I do feel like character and theme and emotion have kind of become a little bit of a secondary. And I think part of what makes the experience of watching this movie maybe feel fresh for kids when they see it, because we show the movie to the same audiences that are going to watch Captain America and Godzilla and everything, and they've seen it all, and what they are accustomed to is 90% spectacle and 10% character, emotion, theme. And just by sake of what the budget of this movie was, and what and also the confines of shooting in the shooting style, we had to kind of reverse that, and we said, no, I would say 90% of this movie is about the friendships between the kids and the fact that they all have to separate and say goodbye to each other, and 10% of the movie is cool spectacle. And once the scale has kind of been flipped that way, it makes your cool spectacle pop that much more. And that was something that we were really excited about, was making a movie that started very, very small, in a kid's bedroom, in Tuck's bedroom at the beginning of the movie. He says, "I'm just a kid, I can't accomplish anything." And then by the end of it, something huge is happening, and he's accomplished something very large.
You mentioned the confines of this shooting style. Tell me a little bit about that as a director, sort of, and I know the term found footage has been overused at this point, but to a degree, that's, I think, what you're talking about, the confines of that style. As a director, sort of navigating around that and being able to shoot what you want, but having it make sense to the narrative that you set up.
Yeah. When we were, I would still storyboard everything in the same way that I would storyboard just a traditional narrative thing. But what the format kind of lent us was, we're shooting with kids and we're shooting with handheld camera, and both of those things are very organic. If you try and get the kid to hit the mark every single time, it's not going to happen. If you try and get the camera operator to hit the mark every single time, it's not going to happen either, because it's handheld. It's going to be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. And what that kind of lent the movie was this just organic quality that was like, well, guess what? There's going to be unpredictability. And as much as I wanted to stage things and control things, that was never going to be the way the movie was going to go. And what ended up happening is when we first concepted the movie, we said, okay, it's found footage, and because the kids have documented it. But as we kept going, we realized, wait a second, if the kids had shot the movie, who's to say that they haven't also put the movie together and also assembled the movie and cut it together and added music and voiceover and Google Earth flyovers and added their own authentic voice to it. So Tuck, the narrator of the movie, who shoots the movie, he's a YouTuber, and he shoots and lives his life online. So it was kind of just, I wouldn't say a happy accident, but it ended up making so much sense to us that that they wouldn't just shoot the movie themselves, they would put it together.